Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you all are well. I have come down with a little something, so if my voice sounds particularly lethargic today, that is why. Before I go off to Thanksgiving festivities, I wanted to do a quick little book haul here, and it's going to be my last one in a while, and I will explain why in the second part of the video, but wanted to just start with the fun stuff first, right? So I have been frequenting the bookstores per usual and picked up a few things there per usual. So starting with the secondhand books I found, I believe these are both secondhand. So first one is To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. Now these are the Harvest Book editions of Virginia Woolf, and I have a couple other editions like this that I found secondhand as well. It's making the lighting in the video do funny things. Anyway, so this is supposed to be a very good novel, and I have enjoyed previous Virginia Woolf outings. So I thought let's continue to build my Harvest book set of Virginia Woolf and give this one a read one of these days. The other one that I picked up, I want to say this was the same trip to that bookstore. It's The Portrait of a Lady by Henry James. You may remember I did a recent review of Washington Square. Absolutely loved that book. I thought it was very masterful in its psychology and very forward-thinking for the time when it was written. And so I found this at the secondhand store, and it's a bit longer as you can see, but it's also this same Alma. Oh, no, this isn't Alma. This is Arcturus Classics. So I wouldn't usually go for a cover that's this, I don't know what you want to call this, kind of Barbie girly look, but because it's the same edition as Washington Square, which I already own, I don't know, I like consistency, and it was there. It's in a wonderful condition. It looks like new. So, you know, I'm not too proud to read the goofy girly cover of The Portrait of a Lady. And honestly, it's not that bad. It's just a little bit juvenile, maybe. Anyway, what's this about? Spirited young Isabel Archer travels from her home in Albany, New York, eager to discover what life has to offer in Europe. Determined to shape her own destiny, she rejects two eligible suitors, one American and one English, in her pursuit of freedom. And it goes on. I don't read a lot of these kinds of books anymore, you know, like this Jane Austen style romance, but based on my experience with Washington Square, I'm hopeful that there'll be something a little deeper than that here. So, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with stories like that. They're good, good escapism sometimes. Now this book I actually picked up new at Barnes & Noble. This is Nella Larsen's Passing. This is about a woman living in the 1920s who passes for white, but she is of African American descent, and she befriends another woman who, or actually, no, childhood friend. So she has this childhood friend who is not attempting to pass as white. And so this book is kind of about this double identity and race relations during this time period. I think it sounds really interesting. I'm just really fascinated by the topic of identity and, you know, double identities. So, and of course that time period, I haven't read a lot of books from it or about those issues. So this is a short novella, and I am looking forward to getting into it one of these days. I haven't watched the Netflix show or movie, but yeah, maybe I'll watch that afterwards and see what it's like. And then I did have another birthday recently, as we tend to do. This book was given to me by a very good friend, and I am just absolutely in love with this cover. This is Island by Aldous Huxley. And look at the spine as well. I don't know, will this show up right in the video? I think so. Look at that, that is just so beautiful. So this is considered to be sort of the inverse, or the pairing to his more famous Brave New World. So this is more of a utopian novel versus a dystopian novel. And having read his book Ends and Means over the summer, and his Encyclopedia of Pacifism, both of which I still need to review on this channel, just haven't got around to it yet. I'm really curious to see how he writes about his ideals, because I think he has some really fascinating ideals, and I'm just not sure, like with all ideals, how they would actually play out, and I wonder if he goes into that in here or not. So we'll see. But I think Huxley is always easy to read and entertaining, if nothing else. And again, look at that amazing cover. So thank you. Thank you so much to the friend who gifted me this. I can't wait to get back to it. I did start it, but there's a few other things I need to finish first before devoting undivided attention to it, but I will soon. And then some family members got me the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. So usually I wouldn't show these until I review them, but you get like a sneak peek today. I'm collecting these hardcover copies of Sherlock Holmes. I have 3 others at the moment, and I really am enjoying reading these, and I think they make for a really nice set, very classy and good quality, and something you could pass on to somebody or gift somebody. It's just a really nice set of editions, so thank you, family. And then I splurged a little bit and got one book for myself from Ye Olde Folio Society. I haven't bought a lot of books from Folio in recent years. I mean, total, I haven't bought many from them because the price. But especially in recent years, I just hadn't seen anything that really piqued my interest. And then a few weeks ago, they sent me a coupon for free shipping to the United States from Folio, which is in Britain. That's not something to lightly pass up. So I had been waiting for some kind of deal or sale to help justify this purchase that I'd been looking at. And that was, I guess, what I needed. So I finally got Around the World in 80 Days in this gorgeous magenta slipcase, and an even more stunning cover. Now, Around the World in 80 Days, I'm not going to say that this is like high literature or whatever. This is just lots of fun. I recently watched the David Tennant series with my siblings, and it was a blast. This book is quite different from that series, or rather vice versa. But both the series and the book are just very, like, uplifting in a way. I mean, the book is probably a bit problematic, and they have certainly tried to fix some of those problematic elements in the series, which I personally think was a good move. But, you know, it's Jules Verne, so expect a little bit of fantasy. Expect kind of cardboard stock characters. Isn't that beautiful? But I remember reading this when I was like maybe 10 or 11. I was waiting for my sister at ballet lessons, and this other girl just couldn't understand why I was reading this for fun. So that's kind of my one of my core memories of reading classic literature, and so I have kind of that sentimental tie to this book as well. It comes with this really beautiful map, which I'm not going to unravel the whole thing, but it's just a very beautifully stylized map with animals and flowers and all the wonderful things on it. So I actually do plan to reread this at some point, but and perhaps sooner than later. So let me talk about this book haul and plans for future book hauls. Ooh. So it's been a really fun year of book hauls and visiting bookstores and acquiring little tree bricks. But I have to say, I've been feeling overly conscious about it, and increasingly, like, I have so many books now that I really need to focus on reading what I have and not just acquiring more things. It's sort of a double-edged sword because, well, the algorithm on YouTube really favors book hauls. So for those of you who don't make videos, you might not be aware that a lot of videos that do very well are the ones where I'm like unhauling books or showing things that I bought. So there's like this kind of vicious incentive cycle to buy more books, because buying books is fun and it also gets you more views on YouTube. And I don't even do YouTube for a living, so it's probably even worse for people that do. But in my case, I'm obviously operating at a net loss. I mean, in terms of money, I think books are a wonderful investment, and I'm still happy and committed to building my personal library. But that's kind of the situation there, and yet I do want to like really enjoy the books I own and read more of them before acquiring more. So I did get another gift card to Barnes & Noble from my parents, which I definitely appreciate, and I'm saving that though. And so here's the plan. I'm going to be joining the Read What You Own challenge that Heather posted about not too long ago. There's a similar challenge that's been going on in the blogosphere for years. It's called Mount to Be Read, and it has different tiers of mountains. And so another one of my friends does that. But yeah, it's as it says on the tin, it's like read what you own. Now, I'm going to share my plan for that here because I've kind of come up with my own version of it that is a little bit relaxed, but I think I have a good chance of completing it. So, rules. I will read books and ebooks I own already. Like, duh. I have a lot of ebooks I own too. I haven't mentioned that before, maybe, but I have some on Kindle, and yeah, I think mostly Kindle, that I still need to read. So there is that. I am going to include library books and library ebooks as books I own because obviously I pay taxes, and I liked Heather's reasoning on this, that if you're supporting the library, you have part ownership of the books. I would also say that with her, I'm interested in making sure that our library is supported. There's been certain, like, I don't know, I feel like libraries are coming under fire recently, and I just want to make sure it stays open, so using it helps. I'm also going to include Project Gutenberg, which might be a bit controversial, but it is the collection of public domain ebooks, and and so everybody owns them, right? Maybe that's cheating, but that's one of the rules I'm setting here. So now, what's like the limit here? I'm actually not going to set a limit for now, but I will say that for every 5 books I read from this challenge, I may buy one new to me book. And that's the only time I'm going to buy a book. I usually read about 30 to 40 books a year, so that means I'm not likely to buy more than 6 to 8 books, which is already plenty of new books. Some little notes here. So if I've given the book a really good try and I just don't like it and I bail on it, I'm going to count that as read. I do anyway. Like, that's the way I do it on Goodreads, and I'm going to continue that. Finishing a previously started book also counts. So I came up with this challenge when I was still reading Beowulf. I have finally finished Beowulf, so that's going to count as one of those 5. I also own some very short, unread books, so it is very possible I can read 5 books in a month if I actually, pedal to the metal and apply myself. So this isn't really that hard of a challenge. It's challenging, but it's not impossible, right? And on the note of Goodreads, Goodreads counts a lot of things as book. I don't think I'm gonna count short stories. I would count novellas. If I do count short stories, there's got to be like a significant number of them. Otherwise, this is just gonna be way too easy. So I didn't note that here, but I think that's what I should follow for this. There are a couple of exceptions to the Read What You Own challenge that I'm going to set. So if I need to buy a book for reading the world, I will. Some of the books on our list for reading the world I already own. Some of them I can probably acquire from the library, but just due to the nature of books and translations, it's not always possible to read what you own. So that's going to be a big exception there if I need to make it. If someone gives me a book as a gift, I'm not going to decline it. So that's another exception. And then any books that I purchase for work, cooking, or health, whatever, therapy, I'm not going to count those because they're educational and I don't read them for fun. So, but those are the only exceptions. So, yeah. There won't really be any book hauls for a while. I might show a new book here or there once I've read 5 books I own, but it's going to be pretty laid back for the next year, I would say. And one of the good things about having a blog, about having a YouTube channel, is that by sharing this information, you can hold me accountable to that. Will I get my haul fixed by going to the library and bringing home a bunch of books? Sure, but that won't be buying books, right? That'll be enjoying the library, giving the books some love by taking them on a field trip. But that's about it. And I'm really excited about it because I have a lot of great books on my shelves, and I bet there are books that I own that most of my viewers don't even remember unless you've been following me a very long time and have a photographic memory. So I think it'll be great. With that in mind, like I said, it does affect my channel stats. So if you like this channel, there's various ways you can support it, but the most important way is to like and comment if you like and share my videos with other people. I don't ask for this generally because I think it's a little unnecessary, but I don't know, it seems like a good time to mention it. So alright, that's all I had for today. Again, happy Thanksgiving to those celebrating, happy fall weekend everyone, or spring if you're in the southern hemisphere, and I will see you next time. Bye.